out, baby. She said, you know, I'm a whore out on the street. This other whore, her friend, she's sitting in the back listening, see. She said, and you know the money got bad out there. She said, but the money didn't mean nothing to me. She said, one night I was laying in the arm of a sailor. The next night I was laying in the arm of a soldier. She said, but tonight, brothers and sisters, I'm laying in the arms of Jesus. And the other whore, she jumped up out of her seat. She said, that's right, bitch, fuck them all. There was a woman in the crazy house. This was a white broad, see. The bitch was so damn crazy, she climbed all up the walls and things, you know. And she was so damn crazy, they put her in one of them padded cells. And every day, the colored nurse would go and check on her, you know, to see how crazy she was. And the nurses could tell how the condition was by the patient's conversation. So this broad was climbing all up the wall, just screaming, I want a long black dick. That motherfucker was climbing the walls, honey. I want a long black dick. The colored nurse say, what did you say? Hell, this white broad didn't make no better. She kept climbing. I want a long black dick. Hell, the colored nurse say, you was crazy as hell when they brought you here. She said, but you in your right damn mind now. There's a man taking his son out one day in Central Park. They walking in Central Park, you know, they're strolling along in Central Park. So the boy got tired, so they decided to get on the Fifth Avenue bus and ride the rest of the way. As soon as they got on the bus, here come a broad on the bus with great big titties, honey, hanging down like watermelons.
That was me.
Yeah. That was you. Hanging down, honey. So the boy took one look at the woman. He said, hey, Dad. He said, dig the tits on that broad. So his daddy was so embarrassed, he jerked the boy up off the bus and he went home with him. He said to his mother, look, what kind of upbringing is you bringing this boy up? This boy get on the bus and he embarrassed me to death. You should have heard the language he was using on the bus. So his mother says, well, what's wrong? You should have heard the language this fellow was using on the bus. And my son, to think he's my son. So his mother says, listen, don't get so upset. Said, we will send him to a military school, and this will reform the boy. And he'll be a good boy when he comes back. The daddy said, a military school? So she says, don't worry about the money. So his daddy agreed to send him to a military school. He goes to his military school. He stays about 2 or 3 years. He comes back. He's a nice, big, tall, handsome man when he comes back.
Right on.
So anyway, his daddy says, I'm going to take this boy out riding again and see what he does. His daddy takes him out in Central Park. They walk along Central Park. Pretty soon they got tired. They got on the bus again. So this big broad gets on the bus with great big titties, honey, wearing a Z-cup. Size Z, honey. Yeah. The daddy says, hey, son, dig the tits on that broad. The boy didn't say nothing. He says, I'm going to test this little son of a bitch out. He said, dig the tits on that broad, son. The boy didn't say nothing. So he said, this boy is trying to fool me. So he said to him again, he said, hey, boy, he said, dig the tits on that broad. The boy said, the hell with the tits, Dad. Said, get a load of the ass on the bus driver. A doctor, and she wanted to be examined. The doctor says, well, lady, I have to take your temperature through your rectum. She said, that's quite all right with me. That hurt. So it didn't hurt her, honey. So anyway, he stuck it in her rectum, and it got good to her. So pretty soon she started hollering, how? Huh, doctor? Huh? Daddy, please. Doctor, right over here, a little bit, right over to the left. Right there. Hold it, you motherfucker. Shit! Woo! Suck it to me, doctor. Oh, my God. And pretty soon it hurt a little bit. She said, wait a minute, Dr. Hell, that ain't my rectum. The doctor said, no, and that ain't my thermometer either. By then, her husband walked through the door. Hell, he said, that son of a bitch better have numbers on him when you pull it out. Well, I backed my ass against the wall. There he was, balls and all, by cherry. He sure had a hell of a dick. What you see is what you get. By cherry. He took me to a motel in the wildwood. There he took advantage of my childhood. Well, he raised my dress, sucked my tits, stuck his tongue in my split cherry. Bye-bye. He ate the whole thing. Daddy ho. Honey, I took a stir down to myself. And he was a damn nice fella. And I gave him wine and whiskey too. And let that son bitch play with my ring-dang-ding. Yeah. You damn fool, my mother said you done broke your maidenhead. So pack your trunk and your suitcase too, and you go to hell with your ring-dang-ding. So honey, I went downtown to become a hoe. And I hung a sign outside my door. $10 as a start will do to take a crack at my ring-dang-ding. Honey, they came by twos and they came by fours. Until at last they came by scores. Honey, I sure was glad when they was through. They damn near tore up my ring-dang-ding. Thank you. Did you hear about the star in the east? No. This damn bitch goes to the doctor. And she says, doctor, examine me, please. She says, something wrong with me. So the doctor says, okay, get on the table. She got on the table. One look, the doctor says, lady, you pregnant. She jumped up. She says, oh, doctor, I can't be pregnant. She says, I'm a virgin. The doctor says, well, you pregnant. She says, doctor, you must be wrong. She said, examine me again. She said, I can't be pregnant. I'm a virgin. So the doctor says, get back on the table. She get back on the table. He examined her again. He said, yep, lady. He says, you're pregnant. She says, oh, doctor, come on now. I know good and damn well you can tell me something better than this. So the doctor said, well, maybe I made a mistake. Get back on the table. She gets back on the table. He looks up her ass again. He says, yes, lady, you pregnant. He goes to the window. He opened the window, see? And he started looking toward the east. So the broad says, hey, doctor, what the hell you doing with that window wide open, this wind blowing up my ass, and you looking toward the east? The doctor said, hell, you say you was a virgin, didn't you? She says, yes. He said, you can't be pregnant, didn't you? She says, yes. He said, well, hell, the last time that happened, it was a star in the east. And I ain't gonna miss that motherfucker this time. Was a colored guy they had down in Mississippi, and they was gonna hang him, the next day. So he goes, he said, Lord, he said, I ain't never prayed in my life. He said, but this is one time I'm gonna pray. He goes out in the woods, he gets him a big tree all by himself. He said, Lord, have mercy. Yeah. He said, Lord, the white folks gonna hang me in the morning.